Trust isn't something you can demand as a leader, and it's not something people give you because of your title. Trust is a feeling people develop over time based on what you do, how you act, and whether you honor your word. And one of the clearest examples of trust I've seen didn't come from a boardroom or an office. It came from the military. A family member of mine recently joined the Army National Guard. Out of curiosity, I asked him a simple question. Do you trust your drill instructors? Without hesitation, he said yes. So I asked him why. His answer wasn't emotional. It wasn't about being liked. It wasn't about fear. It was about consistency. He said they explained exactly what was expected. They told us if we followed instructions, we would be fine. And they did exactly what they said they would do. Rules were clear. Rules were enforced. No surprises. That consistency created trust. But here's the part most leaders miss. This wasn't blind rigidity. There was empathy inside the structure. At one point, when I had surgery, my family member asked the drill instructor if he could call me to make sure I was okay. The rules around the phones were strict. But in that moment, the drill instructor listened, understood the situation, and allowed the call. The structure didn't disappear. The discipline didn't collapse. But empathy showed up appropriately, respectfully, and humanly. And that moment reinforced trust instead of weakening it. That's when it clicked. Trust wasn't built because the drill instructors were easy. Trust wasn't built because they were lenient. Trust was built because expectations were clear, rules were consistent, words were honored, consequences were predictable, empathy was real, and people were treated like humans, not numbers. That's trust. Now let's bring this back to everyday leadership. Your team doesn't trust you because you say, "You can trust me." They trust you when you explain expectations clearly. You enforce rules fairly. You don't change the standards depending on who's involved. You do what you say you'll do. You tell the truth even when it's uncomfortable. And you show empathy without abandoning accountability. That combination, structure plus empathy, is where trust lives. When people trust you, they speak up. They share problems. They reveal workarounds. They tell you the truth. They help prevent issues instead of hiding them. When people don't trust you, silence grows. Problems stay hidden. Fear replaces honesty. And culture weakens. You can't build a strong culture without trust. And you can't achieve prevention without culture. That's the connection. Here's the leadership truth I want you to remember. Trust isn't soft. Trust is built through discipline, consistency, and fairness, with empathy applied at the right moments. That's what great leaders understand. If you want people to trust you, don't try to be liked. Be clear. Be consistent. Be fair. Honor your word and show empathy when it matters. That's how trust is built in the military, in organizations, and in leadership.